Right now, the rain hitting your roof is being thrown away. Every drop, every storm, every single time the sky opens up. The average American home loses between 30,000 and 50,000 gallons of rainwater every single year, down a drain pipe and into the street. At current water rates, that is between $150 and $400 walking off your property annually. Over 20 years, that is $8,000 worth of water God already delivered to your roof for free. The municipal water industry collects $58 billion every year, selling you back water that already fell on your house. A standard residential water line installation runs between $1,500 and $3,000 before they charge you a single monthly bill. In 1972, the municipal water industry successfully lobbied to have rainwater harvesting removed from the standard residential plumbing code recommendations published by the International Association of Plumbing and Mechanical Officials. Not banned, not disproven, just quietly erased from every contractor training manual written after that year. The Persians harvested roof water 3,000 years ago. The Romans refined the system into covered cisterns. The Amish have redirected every drop from every roof they have ever built, and they have never paid a water bill in their lives. This video shows you the exact pipe, the exact setup, and how to install it this weekend for under $6, without a plumber, and without asking permission from anyone. Stay until the end, because there is one mistake almost everyone makes with this setup that turns collected rainwater into standing poison in under 2 weeks. In 1938, the United States Department of Agriculture published a 47-page field manual called the Rural Household Water Management Guide. It was distributed to farms and homesteads across every state in the country. Inside that manual, an entire chapter was dedicated to rooftop rainwater collection, downspout diversion, storage cisterns, gravity-fed garden systems. It was standard. It was expected. It was how self-sufficient American families managed water before the municipal grid reached rural land. A USDA field agronomist named Harold Cresson spent 11 years compiling that chapter. He pulled data from farms in 14 states. He documented collection yields, storage methods, and seasonal outputs. His work was the most complete practical guide to residential rainwater harvesting ever published by the federal government. By 1955, that chapter was gone. Not revised, not updated. Just gone. The post-war municipal water expansion had begun. Between 1945 and 1965, the federal government invested over $2 billion in centralized water infrastructure across suburban America. New developments were required to connect to municipal systems. The independent home water supply, including the cistern, the rain barrel, and the rooftop diversion, was not banned outright. It was simply never mentioned again in any building code, any contractor curriculum, or any home construction standard published after 1958. They did not outlaw the knowledge. They did not need to. They just stopped teaching it. Within one generation, it was gone from every new home built in America. But the Amish never stopped. Every barn, every farmhouse, every outbuilding. Rooftop water diversion was not a survival trick to them. It was just how you built a house. It still is. And what they preserved, what Harold Cresson documented, and what the municipal water industry spent 70 years hoping you would forget, is this. Every inch of rain that falls on a 2,000 square foot roof produces nearly 1,000 gallons of usable water. Not trickle, not puddles. 1,000 gallons from a single storm, already on your property, already paid for by the sky. The pipe that captures it costs $6. Think of your roof like a funnel sitting on top of your house. Every square foot of surface is already doing the work. The rain hits, the slope moves it, the gutter catches it. Right now, the only thing your downspout is doing is throwing all of it into the ground 6 inches from your foundation and walking away. On a heavy rain, you can hear it, that hollow rushing sound inside the downspout pipe. Thousands of gallons moving fast, gone in minutes. The diverter changes one thing, just one. Instead of letting that water fall straight down and disappear, it intercepts the flow inside the downspout and redirects it sideways into a container you control. It works the same way the Amish have always described it. Water does not need to be invited. It only needs to be redirected. Here is how the physics actually work. Water moving through a downspout does not free fall like you might imagine. It clings to the interior walls of the pipe. Surface tension pulls it down in a sheet, not a column. That is why a simple horizontal tap inserted into the side of the downspout can capture the majority of the flow without stopping anything. The water is already hugging the wall. The diverter simply gives it a new wall to follow. The second principle is pressure. A 2,000 square foot roof during a 1-inch rainstorm sheds nearly 1,000 gallons of water in a matter of hours. That volume creates natural pressure inside the downspout. You do not need a pump. You do not need electricity. You do not need a pressure tank or a filtration system to move water from your downspout into a storage barrel sitting 3 feet away. Gravity and pressure do it without being asked. When the barrel starts filling, you can feel the temperature of the water through the side of the container, cool even in summer, because it came straight off the roof before the ground ever touched it. The third principle is what the Amish figured out 200 years ago, and what a 1959 study published by the Texas Water Development Board confirmed with hard numbers. Collection efficiency on a standard asphalt shingle roof runs between 75 and 90%. That means for every 1,000 gallons your roof sheds, between 750 and 900 gallons are fully capturable with nothing more than a gutter, a downspout, a $6 diverter, and a barrel. No compressor, no filtration plant, no monthly bill, no permission. The standard rain barrel holds 55 gallons. You can find them for free at food-grade suppliers, car washes, and pickle manufacturers who cycle them out regularly. A single downspout feeding a single 55-gallon barrel will fill completely during a half-inch rainstorm on a 1,000 square foot roof. That barrel of water, captured in one afternoon for free, would cost you between $2 and $4 on a municipal water bill. Multiply that by every storm, every season, every year. Over 20 years, that $6 pipe returns thousands of dollars in water you never had to buy. The $58 billion municipal water industry knows that. Harold Cresson knew that in 1938. The Amish have known it for 2 centuries. Now you know it too. And there is one variable that determines whether this system works cleanly in your home or becomes a problem you wish you had never started. We will come back to it before this video ends. It has to do with the first 2 minutes of every single rainstorm, and almost nobody who builds one of these systems gets it right. One $6 ground spout diverter is available at any hardware store: Menards, Home Depot, Lowe's. This is the only part you are buying new. One 55-gallon food-grade barrel is next. Find these free or nearly free at car washes, pickle manufacturers, olive distributors, and commercial bakeries. They cycle them out constantly. A barrel that held pickles for 2 years is clean, food safe, and built to hold liquid for decades. Call 3 local food businesses before you spend $1. 1 drill with a 1-inch spade bit. 1 tube of waterproof exterior silicone caulk, around $4 at any hardware store. 1 piece of aluminum window screen mesh, roughly 1 square foot. Free if you have an old screen door sitting in a garage. 1 3/4-inch brass spigot with a locking nut, around $6 at any hardware store. 1 cinder block, or a stack of 2. Free from any construction site clearing rubble. That is the entire materials list. Under $20 if you buy everything new. Under $10 if you make 2 phone calls first. Now here is how you put it together. Start with the barrel. Stand it upright on your cinder block. The block does one thing. It raises the barrel high enough that a watering can fits under the spigot. This is the mistake most people skip. They set the barrel flat on the ground, fill it successfully, and then realize they cannot get water out of it without a pump. Raise it first. Always. Drill your spigot hole 2 inches from the bottom of the barrel on the side facing your garden. 2 inches from the bottom, not the very bottom. You want to leave a small sediment reservoir below the spigot so debris that settles never enters your hose. Thread the brass spigot through the hole. Hand tighten the locking nut on the inside. Run a bead of silicone caulk around both sides of the fitting and let it cure for 4 hours before you introduce any water. You will smell the caulk setting, a sharp vinegar smell that fades completely once it cures. When that smell is gone, it is sealed. Now cut your barrel inlet. On the top of the barrel, cut or drill a hole sized to accept your diverter hose, typically 1 inch to 1 1/4 inch diameter. Cover the entire top opening with your aluminum screen mesh and secure it with a bead of caulk around the perimeter. This screen is not optional. Standing water with no screen becomes a mosquito breeding site in under 72 hours. The Amish have always known this. Every cistern they have ever built has a sealed top. Yours needs one too. Now move to the downspout. Find the downspout closest to your garden. Measure up from the ground to a height that sits 8 to 12 inches above the top of your barrel. Mark that point on the downspout with a pencil. The ground spout diverter installs at that mark. Follow the included instructions for your specific model, because most require either a simple snap-in insertion or a small hole drilled in the downspout face. Insert the diverter. Run the attached flexible hose from the diverter outlet down into the screened inlet on top of your barrel. The hose should slope downward continuously from the diverter to the barrel with no upward bends. Water follows gravity. Any upward curve in the hose creates a trap where water sits and stagnates. Apply a bead of silicone caulk around the point where the hose enters the barrel top screen. This seals the entry point against mosquitoes and debris. Now, the overflow. This step is where most first-time builders fail completely and end up with a flooded foundation. Your barrel will fill. When it fills, it needs somewhere to go that is not back up the hose and not over the sides onto your foundation. Drill a second hole near the very top of the barrel, within 2 inches of the lid. Insert a second short hose angled away from your house toward a garden bed, a lawn area, or a slope. This is your overflow exit. When the barrel reaches capacity, the overflow hose carries excess water away from the structure automatically. No valve, no float, just gravity doing what gravity does. When the overflow is in place, your system is complete. The entire installation takes less than 90 minutes on a Saturday morning. It requires no permit in most states. It requires no contractor. It requires no inspection. Now, here is something a licensed plumber or building inspector will tell you if you make the mistake of asking one. They will say this system requires a permit. They will say collected rainwater is considered a public water resource in some jurisdictions. They will say you need a backflow preventer, a pressure regulator, and a certified installation before you can legally store water on your own property. Here is what they will not tell you. Rainwater harvesting for outdoor non-potable use, meaning garden irrigation, lawn watering, and landscape use, requires 0 permits in the overwhelming majority of American states. The International Rainwater Catchment Systems Association confirmed this in their 2019 residential guidelines. The water falling on your roof is landing on your property. You are not tapping a municipal line. You are not diverting a waterway. You are catching rain in a barrel. No inspector has jurisdiction over rain. The contractor objection exists for one reason. A homeowner with a rain barrel is a homeowner buying less municipal water. That is the beginning and the end of it. Now here is the variable we talked about earlier, the one almost nobody gets right. The first 2 minutes of every rainstorm are the dirtiest water your roof will ever produce. Bird droppings, pollen, dust, debris that has accumulated on the shingles since the last rain. All of it washes off in the first flush. If that first flush goes straight into your barrel, it will contaminate every gallon that follows it. The fix costs nothing and takes 5 minutes to build. Take a 2-foot section of PVC pipe, capped at the bottom. Attach it vertically in line before your barrel inlet using a simple T-fitting on the diverter hose. The first flush of dirty water fills that vertical pipe first, before anything reaches your barrel. Once the pipe is full, the cleaner water behind it flows on into the barrel normally. When the rain stops, the trapped dirty water slowly drains out through a small pinhole you drill in the bottom cap. By the next storm, the pipe is empty and ready to catch the first flush again. The Amish have used a version of this on every cistern they have built for 200 years. Harold Cresson documented it in 1938. It never made it into a single residential building code published after 1958. Now you have it. There is one more thing. Something the 1938 manual included that nobody talks about. Something so simple, it takes 30 seconds to add and extends the useful life of your entire system by decades. Winter. In any climate that freezes, a rain barrel left connected through November will crack by February. The water expands. The barrel splits. The diverter separates from the downspout. You lose the barrel and you lose the season. The Amish disconnect every single collection system before the first hard freeze, every year, without exception. It takes 4 minutes. They remove the diverter hose from the downspout inlet. They drain the barrel completely. They store it upside down against the barn wall so no water pools inside it over winter. In spring, they reconnect it in the same 4 minutes. That is the modification Harold Cresson included in 1938 that never made it into any building material or home improvement guide published after 1958. Seasonal disconnection. 4 minutes in the fall, 4 minutes in the spring. A barrel maintained this way lasts 30 years. A barrel left connected through a hard freeze lasts 1. This is why they buried it. Not because it is complicated, because it is not. Because a system this simple, this cheap, and this durable is a system that does not need to be replaced, does not need to be serviced, does not generate a single dollar of recurring revenue for anyone. A $6 pipe, a free barrel, rain that was already falling. They never needed permission to collect what God sent, neither do you.